I've been playing a game that came out last Tuesday. I've put about 10 hours into it this week, and it's a little title people may not have ever heard of, but it's called Deus Ex: Mankind Divided.
Mankind Divided.
Mankind Divided, or as we called it last week, Mankind Divided, because I couldn't remember if that was the right title or not.
We kept saying. Remember, I kept saying Human Revolution too.
Yeah, we're like Human Revolution.
So
Damn it,
man!
We're like Mankind Revolution. What's it called? No, but So, Mankind Divided, it's the direct sequel to Deus Ex Human Revolution, which came out in 2008. So it's been 8 whole years.
Oh my god!
Since this game, right? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Yeah, that game came out right when I first started dating my girlfriend, basically.
Wow.
So
where's that ring, buddy?
I know, right? Well, I don't have any money, so.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. When I get some money, Kyle.
I was gonna sing some Beyonce, but I won't subject you to that.
Oof. Anyway, it's been 8 years. This game is a direct sequel to Human Revolution, so people who've played Human Revolution will know what's kind of going on in the plot. If you've never played Human Revolution, honestly, you can probably jump into this game and be totally fine because, and I wish more games had something like this, even for people like me I played Human Revolution twice and absolutely adored it. There's a thing that pops up right when you say new game, and it says, hey, do you want a refresher / did you never play the first one? And you say, yeah. And it plays like an 8-minute video that literally just lays out the whole plot of Human Revolution. It just takes clips of the cutscenes and all the stuff that happened, and Adam Jensen's just like, yeah, the Illuminati showed up and we did this and that.
I didn't ask for that.
I didn't ask for this. Yeah, like the whole game, including the DLC.
That sounds like what Mass Effect 2 did when they put it out on the PS3. They actually had that Dark Horse comic
that
explained the first game.
Except they don't really do the choices.
Yeah.
Like, there were choices in the.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
But they choose an ending basically. Because there were like 3 different endings in Human Revolution. They just chose one. I don't remember which one it is, but it's the one where everyone is, alive. So basically the game is like a couple years after Human Revolution, and you are working for Interpol now. You're not working for Seraph. Like, Seraph Industries has gone out of business. And after the big incident thing that happens at the end of Deus Ex, where all the AUG people go crazy because they're on that frequency, they become basically a discriminated against minority. So a lot of the game has to do with prejudice, which I think this game handles prejudice better than I think any game has ever handled it. It's so interesting. So
the AUG Lives Matter really handled it pretty well.
Yeah, I will say the marketing did not. I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to convey that a lot of the stuff in the game mirrors real world stuff by saying the mechanical apartheid and all these things. Probably they should not have said any of that. I'm gonna come out and say they probably should not have used AUG Lives Matter and things like that.
Probably not.
They should not have done that.
Does a good job.
The marketing has been none of that is even in the game. They never say the word apartheid in the game. They never use any terms like that. But they do these really interesting things. So, when you're because you are augmented, the main character, you're playing as Adam Jensen again. It's the same character from the other game. They do these interesting things because you are augmented. A lot of people clanks is a derogatory term for AUG. So
wow.
Walking by people, they'll be like, you fucking clank or whatever, or you'll hear people go, oh, do you hear a clanking sound and stuff? They talk shit. And then I was walking by this restaurant once. I heard these 2 women, and this one woman's like, this guy walked in and he tried to pay with a credit card, and it was so crazy. He'd been living under a rock. And this other lady's like, yeah, I thought they stopped giving them credit cards 9 months ago and stuff.
Jesus Christ.
my God.
Yeah, it gets crazy.
That's sad.
And this
makes me super sad.
This isn't even what's interesting about it. So because the game takes place mostly in Prague in Russia, and so you're walking. I mean, there's other places you go. You go to this big ghetto city called Golem at one point. That's basically like a Blade Runner ghetto cube. If I had to describe it, really cool setting. But there's the one thing I find really interesting, and at first I was like, this is fucking annoying. Like every time it was happening, and then I realized that was the point. And I was like, I get it. This is brilliant. So like occasionally, randomly, you'll be walking by cops, and all of a sudden you enter this random cutscene where they're like, show me your papers or whatever, and you have to show them your papers, and they make you stand there and wait for like a couple seconds while they look and like call in and stuff. And sometimes like Adam Jensen will say something like, this is bullshit, and he'll be like, you think you're a fucking tough guy or whatever and stuff. And then they finally are like, all right, let him go. It goes even further, Kyle. I found out because I didn't realize when you go to, because you have to take the subway sometimes, there are separate cars, and if you get on the wrong car, there are fucking consequences. So there's two lines. So there's an entrance for Augs and an entrance for Naturals, which is like just normal humans. And if you don't take the Aug line, you'll get stopped more frequently. And if you get on the car if you get on the train car that is for Naturals, while you're on the train car, like you'll be standing there and all the humans will be giving you just like dirty looks and shit. And then when you get off the car, the cops fucking hassle you and they're like, you were on the wrong train car. Like you should know better. Like show me your papers and stuff. It is absolutely brilliant. I cannot believe like the time and care they put into something like this, because it makes the world like it actually annoys you. Like I'm kind of like, holy crap. Like I don't think I've ever played a game that did
that's amazing.
Made you actually feel like part of a minority. That's
right. Yeah. Like I don't want to overstate it and say that like, oh, I feel like I know what it's like to be black. Like that's silly. But to say all that, do all that stuff, it's like on a small tangent. Breitbart did a review for this game. For anyone who doesn't know Breitbart, they're like the super extremist right-wing conservative online publication.
Oh, so this definitely ended well.
Yeah. So they did a review for that game, and they called it in their headline. I'm not going to fucking read that, but the headline read like, Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, a mature something RPG for whatever. You know, like just giving it high praise for its maturity and approach to that stuff. And it's just like, how can you play a game like this, have that sort of reaction, but still have no understanding of the plight of like...
Yeah, they honestly didn't
That surprises me that you would say that.
Because my point
I thought they would have hated
was going to be, give this game to, not to make this political, and I apologize if I'm making anybody angry, but like give it to like a Trump supporter or somebody. Just like have their reaction to that game.
I'm about to say, you're making an assumption that Josh or I are Trump supporters, and we're not.
No,
he's not.
No, I know you guys aren't.
Oh, because they said like, I thought you said I'm not trying.
Josh is feeling that Johnson, and I know Dave does. I mean, I would assume that Dave wouldn't be a Trump supporter. You've never outwardly said anything out. Yeah, I'm not a fucking man.
I don't know. Just the way you worded that, Kyle. I'm sorry, but
yeah,
you were basically like, if anyone's here is a Trump supporter, Dave.
That's not what I meant. No, I just meant like. Josh has been very vocal at who
I'm just fucking with you. Don't worry.
You know what, Dave? Yeah. Fuck it. You are a Trump supporter. I know.
I
can
am.
see through your bullshit.
I was originally
He's gonna be like, show me your paper.
I'm a
Trump supporter. Really,
I'm a Trump convert. Actually, I was a Ted Cruz supporter at first.
Were you really?
I
see. It totally makes sense.
This is getting out of hand. I'm trying to talk about dancing.
Go on.
But yes, so and on top of that, the game deals with like prejudice and stuff like really interesting ways. Like it really caught me off guard. I did not expect it to do this. And after like the way Human Revolution had some very troubling like things in it, like in terms of like race and stuff, I was not expecting them to like go, maybe we should correct those things. And not only that, like, you know, do it the right way. I think like in Human Revolution there was like literally one black character, and it was that one lady you see digging through the trash, and she's like way racist. She's like, oh sir, like one of those like stereotypes. Like in this one they have like they've mixed it up in really interesting ways, and they've actually been like, okay, we should actually be a little more like politically correct with our characters, but also make them more interesting. So they have, I mean, you playing gruff, boring white guy, sure. Adam Jensen's not a cool character. I'll admit that. I think he's boring as hell, but whatever. He's supposed to be kind of boring because he's just supposed to be a vehicle for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Your main, like, you have a so you work for Interpol, and your boss is like this hard ass guy, and for the most part, like, you think, this guy sucks, whatever. There's a mission where you have to break into his apartment because you're also undercover, like, helping this hacker group called, like, the Juggernaut Collective or something, and your
DedSec?
main... Huh?
DedSec?
No. But your main contact in the Juggernaut Collective is this this black woman named Alex, and she's a really cool character. She's also an AUG, and, like, you help her, like, basically steal information from Interpol and stuff for her to use, like, for her hacktivism and stuff. And like, on top of that, like, your main boss is a mission where she asks you to break into your boss's, like, apartment and steal data from him and stuff. So you do it, and you actually find out in the process of breaking into his apartment, because he's not there, but, like, you look at some of his pictures because, like, they've arranged it, and he's gay. And I was like, whoa. Like, that's so interesting. Like, they don't really, like, say it out loud. You would never really get the impression. But, like, you walk into his apartment, you see him and, like, his partner and, like, their kids, like, in a nice picture, and you're like, oh shit, like, you know, and
cool.
Like, I think they've really, like, they've come into the 21st century, as I would say. So, and I guess I could talk about the gameplay. All I've been talking about is, like, plot and stuff. But if you liked Human Revolution's gameplay, it's basically the same. Like, you get AUGs and you do, like, you know, I can stealth or explore or whatever. I think that the aiming and the shooting and stuff is a lot better. It actually feels good. They've done a lot to update the cover system. The cover system's actually really good now.
Nice.
I think
that was my biggest problem with the last one.
Yeah, now you can actually dart to different covers. And so you basically have, like, a... it's the same as, like, when you're at a corner and you want to just go to the next corner, you hold it and you'll, like, you know, like, you'll go around whatever you're on. But you now have, like, a line, like, sort of like an aiming thing, and you just aim at, like, and it's really obvious. There's, like, it draws a line for you and stuff. And you just aim at whatever cover you want to go to, and it shows you, like, what side you'll be on, and you just push space and he'll just run over there and go undercover. It works really well. It's really nice. The aiming feels a lot better. The AUGs, there's new augmentation stuff, and then there's some of the older stuff, and then they've just kind of taken out some of the stuff that, like, nobody really used. My new favorite thing ever, and I can't believe it wasn't in the first one because it's made my life so great, and it just sets up so many cool things. Remote hacking. So you get a tool where you can hack stuff from a distance. It is so awesome. Especially, I did a side mission where you have to rob a bank, and, like, not like rob it at gunpoint, like, give me your money, see? But, like, you have to, like, break into the bank and steal data from, like, the manager's computer, basically. And oh my god, it was so awesome. But remote hacking helps so much because you can, like, you know, just look around the corner and be like, there's a drone, it's gonna see me, I better, like, you know, turn it off for 30 seconds and then, like, run, you know.
There's elite hacking.
Dude, yeah, so I play the great thing about this game is that you can play it in a variety of ways. So it's like Dishonored or, like, the original Deus Ex, or, you know, like BioShock or anything like that, where they kind of just give you a goal and then you can figure out the way you want to accomplish that goal. And then they give you AUGs to, like, help you. So if you just want to be combat badass, you can, like, make your aiming better. You can make your cover better. You can give yourself cloaking, or give yourself crazy explosions, or more inventory space to hold more guns, or things like that. Or if you're like me, who I like playing exploration stealth hacker non-lethal, you can, like, upgrade. So they give you, like, after a mission or two in the game, they just give you, like, a bunch of praxis kits, which are basically, like, your level up experience points. And I basically spent them all on hacking, so I can just hack into whatever I want. So I'm hacking into crazy doors and like lifting vending machines and going through trenches and stuff, just like avoiding fighting altogether. I think I've killed one person total in the game. I have a stun gun. I pick up all the guns, but I always sell them. And I have a stun gun and a tranq rifle. And I basically run around with my stun gun. It's like a silenced handgun. You just shoot one bullet at somebody and they get zapped and they're like, man, they just get knocked out. And then I put their body somewhere because I'm like, no one will see you. But it's one of those, it's one of the magical things about the game is like you get to pick a play style and play with it. And there have been some controversies in the game because you can buy praxis kits. However,
the elephant in the room.
Here's the thing. People are way overreacting about this because when I first saw it, I went, oh no, I've never once been prompted to go to the store, ever. I've played for 10 hours. It's never had a pop-up go, hey, if you want more praxis kits, why don't you go to the Square Enix store and buy some? Never. It's never told me. Literally, like, when you push escape, it's like resume, quit, options and stuff. There's a button that says shop. I've never clicked it. I assume that's where you buy them. I have no fucking clue. And honestly, playing the game, I have way more points than I need. Like, I have points that I'm just keeping in case I get to an obstacle that I really want to get past because maybe I can't jump high enough, or like I need the thing where I can breathe the gas or whatever. Like, I'll just keep a couple points like on hand where I'm like, fuck, I really just want to get through this. Like, I'll just buy the legs and I hope I'm jumping up, So you don't need to buy the points. You're totally fine. I don't know who the hell would even buy them. And on top of that, they're not even shoving them down your throat. In fact, they're practically hiding them. So I really do not understand the the controversy. I really don't get it. Like, I don't know.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I've heard, like, pre-order incentive stuffs, like if you activate that in the game, they bar you from using it on consecutive uses in the different save.
I have heard that. Like, some of the pre-order bonuses are like one-time use only forever, which I find weird, but I couldn't tell you what those were.
Yeah,
honestly,
right.
When I was playing, maybe they were the extra praxis kits I got when I first started playing. I have no idea, honestly. They could have been, and in that case, sure. Like, I feel like I could get like how the game might be a little harder because of that, but honestly, like, I still feel like I'm getting a lot of praxis points. Like, I'm doing side quests, I'm exploring, and I'm getting enough experience, and the missions have not been very hard for me in general. I'm just playing on normal. But to me, it feels totally fine, honestly. So maybe my opinion will change if I ever go back and play again, and maybe I don't get those weird pre-order bonuses because I bought the game like the day before it came out, so I could preload it or whatever. But and reviews were out by then, and everyone was saying it was good, and I expected it to be good. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't see much of the controversy. Maybe my opinion will change, but for the most part, I haven't felt pressured in any way to buy.
The reviews I've seen agree with you.
Yeah. So I think people just, I've never even talked to anyone where they're like, you would like to do this. I only say this because most people talk like in a Russian accent in this game. You're in Prague. I've seen like one dude. There was like this black dude helicopter pilot who had like a French accent. And I was like, all right. So I don't know. I've never been super pressured to even buy a single praxis kit, and I have never felt the need to buy one because this game feels totally fine to me. In fact, I feel like I am way overpowered for a lot of these things. So, and maybe that's just because I'm good at video games. I don't know, or just good at this genre. Good. Like, this is one of my favorite genres of games. Is the what do they call it? Immersive sim or whatever? Like, I don't know. So yeah. I'm really liking the game. I think if you liked Human Revolution, I definitely recommend going to buy it. If you've never played it and you're at all curious, I don't think you need to go play Human Revolution probably ever again, to be honest, because that game has a lot of problems that I think this game fixes. I do not understand the opinion of some people that this game's a step backward. I think it's a huge step forward. I think the story in the first game was probably better, because this story so far, it's all hinges on like I'm trying to figure out like what happened at this terrorist bombing at this train station. That's like the whole plot basically. And apparently, according to reviews, the game kind of just ends at some point. Like the ending's like not totally satisfying, but like the ride is really fun. So I don't know. But for now, 10 hours in, I'm really liking it a lot. I loved Human Revolution at the time. I was reviewing games at the time for a website, and I think I gave it like a 9.9 or something. So I mean, take my opinion with a grain of salt, I guess, just because I'm a really big fan of the franchise. But I think this game's really good. They fixed a lot of the problems I had with Human Revolution, going back many years later and realizing like where all the cracks were, you know. So I don't know. I highly recommend it. Yeah.
So I'm thinking you're giving it a chicken sandwich out of a Coke.
Yes.
Perfect rating. I love it.
Perfect rating. Yeah, chicken sandwich out of a Coke. Chicken sandwich sounds pretty good right now.
Right.
Nice Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich or something. Yeah.
Dude, Chick-fil-A is so good.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A extra pickles. Woo! Spicy chicken sandwich. All right.
So dope.